These are the sounds of my neighborhood. Hello. We will be doing yoga in 10 minutes. crying children. Holy Jesus. What? People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces recovery when you're alone. You're wasting your time. People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces recovery when you're alone. You're wasting your time. Hello. Oh, let me get my seat. Okay. And I need glasses for everything to work now. Hello, everybody. I was listening to it on my phone, the video here, while we were getting set up, and there was like so much ambient noise. It would sound like there's these people that got sick of punk rock and they transitioned into this style of music that's referred basically to noise, which is just like what you think it would be is like, and it was funny. I was hearing that on the phone. So, well, I hope you can hear me more than you can hear the noise. I was looking at my notes here about noise, and let's start. By the way, I may at some point say that you might want to have a piece of material to wrap around your foot, a shirt, a strap, a belt, a long towel, or whatever. We've been doing that at the end of these Friday classes. Those of you that are coming along that want more of a workout than the Friday class delivers, although it is a decent amount of work, but if you wanted more of a workout, you're welcome to do a jump back and vinyasa between a lot of the poses, and I can, shout that out for you. That'd be jumping back to top push-up, coming down, up dog, down dog, and then jumping back to a seated position so that you can rejoin us on the next pose. And I did this one the first couple of classes, and it's a little bit complicated for me to describe it. We're going to try to do square breathing, which is a great exercise for the lungs and a great source of oxygen. So I'm going to count us in, so we'll be taking a breath in to a 4 count, then we're going to hold it for a 4 count, and then a breath out to a 4 count. We're going to hold out for that 4 count. It's like me talking now, like too much. And then we're going to breathe back in for a 4 count, making it a full square. So each side of the square is either a breath in, a retention of the breath, a breath out, or a retention out of the breath. So let's just start with that. Sit however you're comfortable. I'm sitting on a cushion for this first part. You can roll up your mat. We'll be down fully on the ground in a minute or so. So simply we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold out, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, hold, out, hold out, breathe in, hold, out, hold out, breathe in, hold in, breathe out, hold out, breathe in, hold in, breathe out, hold out, breathe in, hold in, breathe out, hold out. Good, and that's relaxed. I realized as I was doing that, I was trying to get very rhythmic, and it's funny. Let's do our alt nostril. This is our hand posture, the deer mudra. So the last two here up, and the middle of the pointing and the swearing finger down with the thumb out there. We're going to take the knuckle of the pointing finger and put it in the third eye. We're going to close the left nostrils with the fingers that are right there. We're going to breathe in through the right. We're going to close the right, breathe out through the left. We're going to breathe back in through the left. We're going to close the left and breathe out through the right. Good. Back in through the right. Close both, then out to the left. Back in through the left. Close both and out to the right. Back in through the right. Close both, out to the left. Back in, breathing into the left. Close both, out to the right. Good, let it down. So, show me the right hand. We're going to grab the fingers and pull back. Drop your shoulders down. Pull your core in. And let's do the breath that we'll do for the remainder of the hour, which is most of the time. We're going to breathe in through the nose. And breathe out through the nose. Now you notice on the out breath I restricted the throat a little bit. So if you want to do that, that's like you're clenching in through here as you breathe. That is the traditional Ashtanga Ujjayi breath. Good. Go ahead and switch the hands. I've been turning the fan on at night, so I should be nasal flushing more. My nostrils are a little clogged. We're going to breathe in again. And out. Find your own rhythm for the breath. And see if you can kind of maintain that breath rhythm for the hour. Good, let that down for a moment. So we're going to do some shoulder movement with the breath. We're going to, whoo, that got me really high. I was about to fall over for a second. We're going to breathe in as we bring the shoulders up. We're going to breathe out as we bring the shoulders down. That would be bad for this class. We're going to breathe in and bring the shoulders up. We're going to breathe out and pull the shoulders back and down. We're going to breathe in, bringing the shoulders up. We're going to breathe out, pulling the shoulders back and down. We're going to breathe in, shoulders up and out. Continue on your own. Good. I like this one. So let's start with, you're going to continue breathing, but we're going to say no. So, wait, is that no? Yeah, it is. No. Just turning from side to side with the head, but continuing with the breath. Good. Let's come back to center. Let's do some yes, just so we're balancing it out. So I'm doing a lot of neck and shoulder stuff here in the beginning because I've been suffering a little bit in there because I've been holding my phone too much and typing on the computer too much. I'm going to break myself of that habit. Keep breathing, keep moving with the no. I'm also trying to do my phone left-handed now and actually try to talk to people more on the phone rather than texting. Good. Back to center. Let's reach the right arm all the way up, and we're going to bring it down the back. We're going to take the left hand. Let me go back so you can see a little better. You already probably know most of y'all because it's good that we know each other. And we'll grab that elbow. Now, if you wanted to get involved with the strap, the hand that is up would hold the strap so it's falling down your back, and the other hand can come around and get that, and you can start to try to shorten the distance between the hands. Eventually, some of you will bring your hands together back there. I broke my collarbone as a kid, and mine won't go back there now. Push the head back against the arm so you're sitting up straight, and we're breathing. Good. Go ahead and switch left arm up and then down the back. Push the head against that arm. Right arm comes and grabs. And then if you were holding the strap with the left hand, it would be hanging down the back, and you could come around the back. You know, that's a little forceful, so that's your choice, and we're going to keep breathing. Stay here. Thank you for joining me on our Friday night here. Ooh, my arm is tight. All right, those of you that want to do a vinyasa, do a vinyasa. The rest of us are going to do a reverse plank by putting the hands down a little bit back behind us with the fingers pointing up towards the feet, but the hands are back enough so that they're kind of sitting under the shoulders. We will point the toes. So I've done it years not pointing the toes, but you can point the toes. Lift up in the hips. Try to make a straight line, even with the top of your head, looking straight up at the ceiling. Great. Let's come back down. We are going to bend the right leg. We're going to do dynamic Janusirsasana. So the foot's against the left leg. It's not under it. Your knee might be way up. You could push it down. If it doesn't go down with a little bit of a push, you could put your mat or the towel underneath your legs if it feels like it's strained. Otherwise, we're trying to get it down. Left hand can grab the toes, what's this called? The shin. Or you could strap around the foot. We're going to breathe in, reaching up. We're going to breathe out and close it down. Be aware of the right shoulder coming down because we want to try to flatten towards the earth, and then all the way back up, wide open lungs. And we breathe out, folding it all back down again. We're going to breathe out on the forward fold, and we're going to do it over and over. Emptying out all the old, breathing in the new. Ten more seconds, please. Let's come up and let's stay up, lengthening wrist to wrist, looking, if you can, if it doesn't bother your neck too much, to the reaching hand. We're breathing even when we're staying still. Excellent. Let's switch. So right foot is out in front, left leg is bent and down. And just as a demo, if ever that leg's real hard to get down, you can rest it on something like I'm doing there. And we're grabbing the right, and we're moving again. Up, breathing in, close it all down, and over and over. It's funny, I lived in Hollywood so long, the sirens make me feel at home. Now I live by the hospital, so it's different kind of sirens sometimes. Out breath on the downward fold. Next time you're open, go ahead and stay open. Look to the reaching hand if possible. Lengthen long, keep breathing. Good. Those of you that want to vinyasa, the rest of us are going to reverse plank again. So back behind the, with the hands pointing forward, fingers forward, behind the back, we look up. Back down. Let's do Janusirsasana again in a different version. We're going to bend the right leg again. This time you can grab the toes again, or the shin or the strap. This time we're going to take the right hand and we're going to come all the way up and over. So you really want to be able to see the ceiling a bit along your arm, because we're not coming down. That's a different version. We want to be really open, like extended side angle. So we're trying to stack the shoulders. Some of you may be able to come down and get the toes. You see I'm starting to dip my shoulder. I don't want to do that. But if it's possible, you can grab the toes. But we're going to really open up the side here and breathe. Good. Back up. We got people joining us from the East Coast tonight. We're going to put the right leg out. It's Marissa's mom. And I think some other people too. So same dealio. Right hand grabs the toes. And so now I'm sideways. You'll be able to see if I start to dip. I don't want to dip down. And we're going to come, and we want to be able to see the ceiling as we come into the forward fold. And like I said, you can come way down if you can still see the ceiling. So we're keeping the shoulders and the rib cage facing out, and we breathe here. Good. Back up. Those of you that want to vinyasa. The rest of us are going to reverse plank again, just to kind of wash away the pose. Back up. We'll take our time. And back down. So I'm going to throw this hip opener in tonight. If you're not okay with it, you're welcome to do cobbler, which is this one. But for the hip opener, we're going to take the right leg, we're going to take the right heel and stick it way over here underneath the left hip. So you want your right leg with your ripped jean pointing straight forward. Then we're going to take the left foot and put it just maybe right there is all that you want to do today. Sit up tall all the time. Continue breathing. Some people call this the shoelace pose because the right hand will grab the shoelaces on the left foot and you can pull it back some. I find if I push into the mat and lift up, I can get these knees to come down a little closer together. We're just going to breathe here. You can put your hands on the knees, pushing them down if they're not coming together. There is another part of this pose, but we already did it. If you want to do it again, that's fine. The top of this pose is right arm up, left, or coming around the back. But I'm just going to focus on the hips for myself right now, so just breathe. The breathing is so important. Want to exercise those lungs. Good. Let's do the other side. So the left heel coming all the way just a little underneath the right hip. So now your left knee is like an arrow pointing straight forward like your chest. Then that right leg comes over here. And then again, if you want to do the shoelace, you can pull that back. And for me, it's this side, you see it's a little more difficult for me. I push into the mat, they come a little closer together, and still a little more distance for me. And I'm going to stay here breathing. If you want, then it's the other arm up, the opposite arm. And we're just going to breathe here. They also call this the cow face pose. I have no idea why. I should probably look that up. I like shoelace. It reminds me about that, the grip. Okay, everybody reverse plank. I'm going to do one of the vinyasas with the hardcore folks. So we step back, over down, up dog. When you're doing vinyasas between the poses, you want to get that jump to sitting happening. And once we're sitting, sit comfortably. We're going to put the hands on the shoulders. We're going to take a breath in as we turn to one side, and then we're going to breathe out as we turn to the other side. Now, it's likely that one of your sides is tighter than the other. That's where you put the out breath. Put the out breath on the tight side, and you can really see the usefulness of the out breath when you do that, because for me, it's a letting go, and it opens up the body a little bit. You can also come out to goddess pose, or you can come out wide arms. That's a lot of leverage. Be careful, and we're going to breathe here. The breath is a little quicker if you're moving quick. You don't have to move as quick as I'm moving. Go ahead and take your right hand and grab your left knee. The left hand can sit right behind you, fingers pointing away like 6 inches out from your tail, or it can come all the way around, and you'll see it jump out here, and you can grab your shirt, your pocket, or your leg. If you were in full lotus, you would grab the foot, but we're not mostly doing that. Spine is straight to the crown of the head. As the shoulder turns back, the head gently goes with the flow to look at any of the walls, so we're not looking at the ground, and of course we will continue breathing. Good. Let's go all the way over to the other side, and just because I'm calling this Easy Friday Yoga doesn't mean you still can't skip one of the poses if it doesn't go with your body. So left on right, right hand behind you, and then maybe all the way around. You can grab the shirt. That, for me, that's not as good. If you can get a hold of the pants or the leg, it's kind of a better grip. And then we're going to squeeze the spine out to the crown of the head like a towel, and we gently look back and breathe. Good. Back around. Those of you that want to vinyasa, vinyasa. The rest of us are going to reverse plank again. I'll show you from the other direction. Fingers forward. Good. And then even if you didn't vinyasa, we're going to come down and we cross the legs and we come forward so we can do cat and cow. You can see here better. Knees are 2 fists apart. Shoulders above the wrists and the middle finger straight forward. Actually, before we do cat and cow, let's do this just for me, just to help me out here. And if it's too much on your wrists, your forearms, feel free to skip it. But if you can, do it one at a time. Take first the right hand and turn it all the way around so that now the thumb is pointing away from you. And your middle finger is pointing back to your right knee. If that's not too crazy for you, do the other side, the left hand too. And kind of sit here. In the beginning, you'll be like, holy shit, I can't believe this is too much. And then your forearms will open up. And then if you wanted to try putting just cat on it, lift up into the cat. Good. So if you do that, please put your hands back because we're going to rearrange them back to forward, and we're going to do the cat and the cow as promised a while back there. So belly drops down as we look up to the third eye. That is the in-breath. The out-breath is when we bring up the back. That is when the lungs are collapsing a little bit. So a lot of these twists, especially these twists with the movement, are squeezing out the internal organs. And the lungs are the internal organs too, so we're squeezing out the lungs, which is why one of the many reasons we breathe out when we squeeze the lungs. So the up back, the lungs are getting squeezed, and that's when we breathe out. So in here, out here. Good, let's come on up to the knees like we're going to be knighted. And then for me, I want to be up on my toes. If you got a real flexible back, you can be on the laces down like so. But I want to be up on the toes, and oh, my head's chopped off. And we're gonna, knees are 2 fists apart. We're gonna go easy with the thumbs in the back. Pull your elbows together, and maybe just look at your ceiling. Those of you that want to, stay here. Those of you that prefer, tighten the legs as you arch further and put the fingertips on the heels, which would explain why you're up on the toes, because then it's like several inches further to get down to the ground. Like I said, if you're real flexible, down flat, then you can come and grab the feet or the heels. But maybe just keep your thumbs in your back, which a lot of us are going to do here, looking at the ceiling, maybe pushing the hips a little bit forward. Good, and let's come back down for more cat and cow, because I really feel like I need the cat and cow after that previous pose, which is called the camel. Oh my God, it's animal night here at yoga. Cat, cow, camel. Cat, cow, camel. And speaking of animal night, look over the right shoulder and see your tail. Good, and then over to the other side, see your other tail. Good, back to center. Those of you that want to vinyasa, vinyasa, and then meet us back in the hands and knees, and we are going to step the right foot to the top of the mat. I'm going to come a little closer so you can see. So, knee over ankle. You could have less if you like. You could scooch this left leg further back. You could double up the mat underneath your knee if you're on a hard surface. I'm on the nice thick carpeting. And then just let's reach the arms up. We're going to breathe here. Let the hips hang down. So we are going to twist. See if you can put this movement on an out breath, because we will be squeezing the lungs. So on the out breath, take your left arm Swing it all the way over to that leg, which is made out of cement. It's never going to move. Hands in prayer, pull in towards the chest. Turn the fingers up to your face. You could stay here. If you want to go hardcore, you could roll back on the ball of foot, straighten the leg, or even open the arms. We're going to stay here. I like to look at my big toe. You can also look up to the ceiling, which I think is a little more traditional, although this pose is very modified as far as traditions go. So let's breathe. Good. Let's come back to hands and knees, and we'll do the other side. Left up, and then arms up. I've lost my head. And let the hips hang down. Feel here, you can put the leg further back, but it's easier probably to put the foot further forward. If your knee's bothering you, double up the mat under the knee. And breathe. If you can put it on an out breath, swing that right elbow outside of the cement leg. Hands in prayer, pull in, turn the fingers up to your face. We're trying to stack the shoulders, and maybe look up, maybe roll back onto the ball of the foot, maybe look at your big toe on the mat in front of you, and of course, breathe. Good. Back to hands and knees. Vinyasa if you want a vinyasa. The rest of us are going to do the other side again. So back to stepping the right foot to the top of the mat with the left knee down. This time we want the arms straight up, like Superman style. So we're going to breathe here, just a few, letting the hips hang down. I really enjoy this Friday class. To really focus on the breathing for me. Not that you can in the other classes, but I'm talking a lot. So, all right. Hands down right on the inside. Fingers right next to the foot. Left wrist under left shoulder. Keep the leg pulling against your shoulder. You could walk those hands forward if you like, trying to put your elbows down right next to the ankle. Even if you can't, keep the leg against the shoulder, and maybe the hands come a bit and the arms are bending, so we're trying to go in that direction, or just keep them right here and let's breathe. Good. Let's switch it. So put that right leg back. Left foot forward. And straight up again with the arms. We'll stay here a little bit. Good. Right down again on the inside. Keep the knee against your shoulder. And then if you want to walk the hands forward and come down onto the elbows, you're welcome to. And we're going to breathe, of course. Keep breathing. Good. Those of you that want to vinyasa, the rest of us are going to sit down. Once sitting down, we're going to do our core work. So good to keep the legs bent and then bring the arms underneath the bent legs and then roll back under your tailbone. If you're on a hard surface, I always double up my mat, but I'm on the carpeting, so it's okay for me. And we're going to stay here and breathe. Those of you that want to, once you let go, you feel it in the core. Remember, it's Easy Friday, so maybe keep the legs straight. But it's up to you if you like. Hands in prayer to the third eye with the legs straight, or up towards the toes, which is more Ashtanga tradition, or even intertwine fingers behind the head. Good. Cross the legs while they're in the sky and then bring them in. Grab the shins. Sit up way tall to the top of your head, but resist with the shoulders pulling a little bit back and down. That's 1 of 5. So let's come back up, and I'm going to stay here. You know all the choices. It's up to you how much you want to work tonight. And cross the legs again. Grab the shins. Watch my back. Straight line, yeah? Shoulders down, that back, top of the head up. And, well, I think this is number 3. We're going to have to live with it. Number 3, here we are, back up. Good. Across the legs again. Straight that back all the way to the top of your head. Pull the shoulders down, top of the head way up. All right, number 4, back up. Cross the legs, bring those shins in, way up to the top of the head. Good. And one more, back up. Good. So hug the knees into the chest and lie back. We're going to thread the needle. If you need to look up to see that, that's fine. I'm going to demo it for you. But firstly, really grab those shins and pull down and bring your nose up to the knees. And then when you let the head down, that cracks my back. Awesome. Then put the feet down, feet and knees 2 fists apart. We're going to lift the right leg up. And we're going to bring the right ankle down the inside of the left leg. Take the hand on the same side as the bent leg, right hand feeds through, hello, grab the shin, and then the other hand comes around and grabs so that they're together. If that's too much, get underneath the leg instead and lay all the way back and bring your toes towards your shins. We're going to stay here. Try to bring the right knee forward away from you, and let's breathe. Excellent. Let's switch it. So, left leg up, left ankle down the inside of the right leg, just slightly. Left hand comes through the legs, grabbing the shin, and then the right hand here, or the underside of the leg if you prefer. It's a little easier. Flex the feet, bringing the toes towards the shins. Lay flat as you can. Rotate that left knee forward a little bit if you can. Good. Back around. Feet 2 fists apart, knees 2 fists apart. We're going to do bridge. Let's lift the hips. As you lift the hips, tuck the shoulders, intertwine the fingers, push the arms down on the mat. Stay here lifting your hips. Those of you that want to do Urdhva Dhanurasana are welcome to. Let's stay here. I'll be right back. I want to open a window. Good. Come on down. And if you have a strap or a piece of material out, we're going to use that now. You can use an old t-shirt or a sock, whatever you like. And we're going to put we'll be laying down, but I'm up just so you can kind of see. We're going to put if you can grab the big toe with your legs straight, and it's like not a problem at all with the shoulder way back, you can do that. But I'm going to use the strap, and you're going to lay down, and we're going to lift that leg with the strap while laying down straight up as you can get it. And then you can climb up on the strap, choking up tighter and closer. If the shoulder stay down, don't pull the shoulder off the ground. Try to keep yourself laying flat, and we're going to breathe here. Now go easy and let that right leg fall out to the right as you open your left arm to the left and look out to the left. And we'll stay here breathing. Let's come back up. We're going to switch hands on the strap, and so the left now will grab the right, and we're going to come over to the side, and the right arm is out to the side. We're doing this one early in the sequence tonight, but just enjoy it and breathe. Come back up to center. You won't need the strap, you can just leave it hang or whatever, and we're going to take both hands behind the leg. See if you can get above the knee joint, and then bring your shoulders up now so the nose will be coming towards the knee. Do everything you can to hold the left leg flat, and we're going to breathe here. Good, let that down, and we're going to strap the other foot. So left on left, and then we bring that left leg up. You could put the right hand on the right leg if it's jumping up, or it can just be on the earth next to you. Either way is fine. We're going to breathe here. Good. Keep a hold of the strap. Let the leg fall out to the left. Reach the right arm out and away as you look to the right hand. Excellent. Back up. We'll switch the hands. Right grabs left. And then we'll come all the way over. You see the hip comes off the ground. And the left arm's out and away. We try to look to the reaching hand. Good. Back up. You don't need the strap. Just hands coming up towards the heel, above the knee joint if possible, holding the right leg down. Excellent. Let that now down and pull the knees in again for a second. Bring the nose up. Good. So we're going to do some mild inversion work. So you can, we're going to lay down, go against the wall, and I'll go back there in a second and show you, but we've done this quite a few times. You want to lay down on your back and then just have your feet up the wall. So your rear end and hips will be on the ground, and then just the feet up, and then open the arms. You could also do it just with the legs up on a couch, just so we have the legs a little bit inverted, and then we're going to hang out there, so get comfortable. I'll go back on the wall. You could also part the legs out so the inner thigh stretches a little bit, and then just get comfortable, and we're going to stay there for a few breaths. I'll demo it, and then I'll come back over to the screen and say hello in a couple breaths or so. One of the tricks, by the way, is to get sideways and then come against the wall and then lay back and then put the feet up and then arms out. And then if you want to part them, that's up to you. We're just going to stay here. Those of you that want to do shoulder stand plow and cobra are welcome to, because we're going to take a long breathing here. So if you want to do shoulder stand while we're here, go on and get on to it. Otherwise, the rest of us are just laying on the wall. Sometimes it's hard just to lay around, right? We got to learn to relax. So let's come off the wall. And once you come off the wall, we're going to come back to the mat, and we're going to lay down with the feet flat on the mat, but with the feet and knees 2 fists apart. So I'm just up so I can talk to you, but we're going to let the knees fall together. So you're laying down and the arms are both out with the head down. And we're going to let the knees kind of fall, but keep the knee touching the shin as it rolls down. And then I'll join you for some of this. This is great for the lower back. And then just back and forth. For me, I actually feel it in my hip too. We're breathing. And next time you get over to the right, we're going to stay there, and we're going to take the right leg out from under the left and put the right ankle on the left knee, so we get a little bit of force and we pull the left hip some. Good. Let's set up our stance again. So 2 fists apart, let the knees fall together so we come back to center. And we'll do a little bit more back and forth before we do the other side. Good. Then next time you fall over to the left, fall over to the left. We'll take the left leg out from underneath and put the left ankle on the right leg or knee. And we'll stay here with that tiny bit of force. We're not forcing anything, it's just the weight of the leg. Good. Back to center. You can stay laying down. Those of you that want to, if you want to look up, we did this last week. If you want to roll your mat up as tight as you possibly can and then put it on your back. So I like just the base of my skull to be right on the end of the mat, and you lay down on the mat. So with the mat on the base of my skull, it lengthens my neck a little bit. I actually like having the legs bent with the feet down, arms out. You can lay down all the way flat. I like the way it makes my back feel when I have the legs bent. Or you can just lay down naturally in final rest. And we're going to take a bit of a guided meditation tonight. So that means I'm going to keep talking. There will be the sound of birds and dogs and neighbors and stuff. So just float in the stream of living life in the world where there's people. So as you get comfortable laying on your mat, I want you to take your mind's eye and your attention down to your toes. Feel your toes and feel them getting super loose. And maybe the feet start to fall open a little bit. And feeling them getting a kind of jelly at the feet getting really loose. Let the ankles get a bit loose. Just dropping the whole foot deeper and deeper into the floor and the mat. Letting the shins get really loose. Falling down, squishing into the floor. Let the knees drop down. Let the quads from the knee up to the hip joint, really focus on them dropping into the earth, just turning into octopus, squiddy and loose. Spreading all the way out onto the earth. And the hips dropping down. Feel your fingers, they've already joined. They're getting super loose, they're almost liquidy as they spread out on the mat and the hand is joined. Your forearm. Super loose, opening all the way up. And the elbows dropping down. From the elbow to your shoulder, getting loose. The chest is dropping into the floor. The head sinking lower and lower. Relieving form. As we sink deeper and deeper into the mat, the body begins to become like liquid, and we spread out on our floor, looser and looser. We go out the doors, we drip down through the door. There's a staircase there down. We're covering the entire surface of our living space, and now we're going out of all the doors and cracks and windows, and we're dropping out of our squares onto the round earth. We're spreading out further and further. We're going towards both beaches, east and west coast, and the south beaches down deep into Mexico, up into Canada, way up. We're spreading further and further. Covering the entire earth with our thin, loose, easiness. While you're feeling the whole earth around you, next to you, as part of you. We feel everything we want, and we make note of it. Feel everything that we don't want, and we make note of it. And then they become the same, and they disappear, and then there's no one or the other, and it begins to not matter. So we just, all of us at the same time, holding the earth, and the earth holding us. Now it's your choice, as it always is, all the time. But as you come back, you can leave things behind if you want to leave them behind. And you can bring the things with you back into your life that you want to bring back into your life as we come back into physical. Drawing all the way back from the earth, all the way back. Pulling up the staircases, back in through the windows, back to the mat, back to the human form, the vehicle, being the passenger, as Iggy Pop says. And as we come all the way back into physical form, we move the fingers and feel this magnificent machine that we have, our earth machines. Move the fingers on your earth machines. Move the toes on your earth machines. Rotate at the wrists and the ankles. Blink your windows on the earth machines. We are the passengers. Lengthen the fingers way above your head with the backs of your hands down on the floor of the earth, and lengthen your toes all the way. Get as long as you can. Stretch your earth machine out. Get it long. Pull the core down. Pull the core down against the lower back. And when you're ready, go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. And roll yourself up to a seated position so we can all, you can stay laying down if you want. We're gonna finish off, but if you're in that space, man, if you're in that space, stay in that space. Some of us are gonna sit. Those of you that are sitting, we're gonna bring the hands to the heart center, making a little bit of a fire in the hands. These magnificent tools that can be used for healing. Good. We're going to reach the arms all the way up like a big funnel. We're going to take everything in through the nose. Breathe in as much as you can. Breathe in more if you can. Breathe in more through the mouth if you can. If you can, breathe in more. Hold the belly tight. Hold the legs tight. Hold the floor tight. Hold the breath. And then let everything out. All right, man. Thank you guys for going on the journey. Thank you so much for joining me tonight and all the nights that we've been here, the Monday and Wednesday also. It's awesome. Thank you so much for everyone that sent donations. That has been an absolute blessing for me. And it's danieloverberger.com if you want to find my Venmo or my PayPal. And that is it. As always, you're living your dream. Don't miss it. Namaste. Enjoy your Friday night. Thank you, man. Great to see you guys. Great to hang out with you. Oh, I'll put a link to my website in the comments. Thank you guys. Good night.